Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with regions. We don't need no stinking regions by Strosahl. So we have normal 6x6 Latin square rules. You'll notice we don't have any bold borders here. So there are no additional regions in this grid, but still in every row and every column, we're placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have killer cages in the grid. These are the cells surrounded by dotted lines. The digits in a killer cage sum to the clue in the top left. So these 3 sum to 11, these 4 sum to 18, these 3 sum to 10. In addition to that, digits can't repeat in a cage. So even though we don't have regions, I can't put a 2 here and a 2 here because that violates our cage constraint. Can't repeat the digit. That helps with limit the sums that are possible. All right, and that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. Luckily, digits can't repeat in a cage, so we can talk about some of our minimums here. What is the minimum of a 3-cell cage? Well, you can put a 1, 2, and 3 in it. Those are the 3 smallest digits of 1 through 6. Hopefully that's obvious. You can't repeat any digits, so you can't get any lower than that. And 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So this has to be 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now, the 7, and this is always going to be true of 1 higher from minimum, and I'll explain exactly why, so it'll become intuitive to you. There's still only one way to do 7. If we start from 1, 2, 3, our bare minimum, that adds to 6. We need to add 1 to the total. That means adding 1 to the 1, adding 1 to the 2, or adding 1 to the 3. We need to increase one of these digits. But there's only one digit we can increase without causing a repeat. If we increase the 1, we repeat the 2. If we increase the 2 to 3, we repeat the 3. So we have to increase the 3 to 4. So the only way to add to 7 is 1, 2, 4. And you can validate that if you want. But that's a nice intuitive way to think about it. Once we get past 7, though, in 3, there's going to be 2 or more ways until you get near the end, the maximum of 4, 5, 6, which is 15. So 15 and 14 have only one way to add. So here's our 15. That's 4, 5, 6. Cool. So there's one piece of logic we can do here if we would like to. I'm not sure if it's immediately helpful, but I just want to point it out, which is that we know the 7 cage has a 4 in it, and we know the 15 cage has a 4 in it. So they both span just 2 columns, and there's only 2 4s in those 2 columns. And the 7 cage takes 1, and the 15 cage takes 1, which means there are no more 4s to place anywhere in here. There's another interesting thing we can do with this. Let me actually highlight this in green. We know the sum of the green cells, and we know the sum of this column. So let's start with the green cells. The green cells are 7 plus 8 plus 15. So if we do that math, 7 plus 8 is 15, plus another 15 is 30. That's pretty big. Yeah, 7 plus 8 is 15, plus another 15 is 30. This column is 21, because it has 1 through 6 in it, once each. If you add 1 through 6, you get 21. It's good to know the triangle numbers if you're doing Sudoku with sums. But anyway, we need to subtract 21 from 30, and we get 9. So if I remove this column from green, I've removed a sum of 21 from 30. And so we know that the remaining sum is 9. These 2 cells sum to 9. How do we sum to 9? Well, if I put a 1 here or a 2 here, I'm definitely not summing to 9, because I'd have to have a 7 or an 8, which aren't in the puzzle. So this is a 4. Clears 4 out of these. Now, how do we add to 9 with a 4? Only with a 5. So that's 4 and 5. And these are not 5s. And so now we know that this has to be the, let's see, 1, 2, well, this has to be 3, 5 adding to 8. All right, and I bet we can do the same thing here. So let's do that. So we have 11 plus 9 plus 6. So 11 plus 9 is 20. That's 26. If we subtract 21 from that, we get 5. So these two green cells add to 5. So this has to be a 2, 3, or 4. It cannot be a 4. There's already a 4 in the row. So this ends up being a 2, 3 pair. I don't know that I want to think about the 11 quite yet. We do know this 6 is resolved, though, which actually will help a lot, because there's no 4 in it. There's only 2 ways to add to 6. 1 plus 5 or 2 plus 4. Can't do 3 plus 3. That repeats the 3. Can't do 2 plus 4. There's already 4 in the row. So this is 1 plus 5. That gives us the 2 and the 1 here. And that gives us that this is a 3 and this is a 2. So these can't be 2. Very nice. So these sum to 9 and these sum to 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So, okay, so you can't have a 4 when summoning to 8, right? There's 8 left in this cage, because we already have 3. And you can't use a 4, because we'd have to repeat the 4. There's a few reasons we can't do that. Most importantly is you can't repeat a 4. And so 4 has to go in this column somewhere. It's going to end up in this 9 cage. This has to be a 4-5 pair. And then that leaves us with the 2-6 adding to 11, or adding to 2-6 adds to 8, plus another 3 is 11. That gives us 6 and 2 here. Nice. And then I bet we can do something down here as well. Well, the problem is we don't have a domino cage here. It's 15. 15 is pretty middling for 4 cells. You can kind of think about that as the minimum is 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the maximum is 3, 4, 5, 6, which if you want a shorthand for thinking about that, we know that all of 1 through 6 is 21. We're just removing the 1 and the 2, which adds to 3. 21 minus 3 is 18. So 10 to 18 is our range. 15 is right in the middle. So we know there's a lot of ways to add to 15. There's probably something else we can do, though. 18 was our maximum. There we go. So that may not have been immediately recognizable, but this has to be 3, 4, 5, 6 to add to 18. You can double check that. 3 plus 6 is 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. That's how I would do it. There's a 1 in this 10 cage here for the column. So this was 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I do anything? Oh, yeah. So where's 1 and 2 in this row? They have to go here. So if that's 1, 2, that adds to 3. So what do these two add to? 12 minus 3 is 9. We can't use the 1 or 2. We wouldn't want to anyway. Yeah, this is 3, 6, or 4, 5. This can't be 4 or 5, though, which means this can't be 4 or 5. That's a 3, 6 pair. This is really well crafted. The 3 goes here, and these can't be 6, so the 6 goes down here. Very nice. This 3 gives us the 5 and 3 here. The 5 gives us the 4 and 5 here. So if there's a 1 in this 10 cage, the rest adds to 9. We can't use the 1, not that we'd want to. Can't do 1, 1, 8, or 2, 7. What a surprise. So we have to be either 3, 6, or 4, 5. So the 1 is going to be in one of these two. This can't be 3 or 5. So if it was 3, 6, this would be the 6. If it was 4, 5, this would be the 4. Which means the other one is here. So it would be the 5 here with the 4, or the 3 here. Oh, none of these can be 3. Well, that makes it easy. If we can't put 3 at all in here, we can't do 3, 6. We have to do 4, 5, which goes like that, and that's our 1. There we go. That's 4 and 5. That's 1 and 5. We're done with 5s, actually. This is just the last 2 digits. 2, 6. Okay, well, 2 plus 6 we know is 8, so this has to be a 1 to get us to 9. That's our 2 and 1. That's our 6 and 2. That's our 3 and 6. All right, we got our 3 and 1 here, and now we just have to do the 15 cage. Actually, how's this going to resolve? Well, let's find out. I think it does. But these are just pairs for the column. This is 2, 6. So that, oh, that's how it does. That's 6 and 2. That's 4 and 6. Yeah, it just resolves itself. And then this is going to be 3, 4. So that's our 3, that's our 4, and we're done. And just to double check, 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4 we know is 9, plus 6 is 15. Okay. Cool. That was a really neat puzzle, Strosahl. I loved how we could use all sorts of different killer cage tricks here, and thinking about minimums and maximums, and thinking about partial cages being filled. I really liked the logic of these having to add to 9, and then we were able to have these add to 5. That's always fun to do things like that. We probably could have done something along these lines, which made these add to 3. If I had done this math and seen that these had to add to 3, we would have gotten the 2 and 1 right away. But I kind of just didn't, because it was flowing otherwise, but probably should have. All right, cool. Well, let me know how you did, and if you enjoyed it, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.